Welcome to Mommispace. My name is Brianna Bernhard, your hostess, and I am a new mom. I selfishly created this podcast to get some advice and inspiration from the moms in my community who are doing amazing things while raising their families. I've realized motherhood is hard, but knowing I'm not alone in this call makes all the difference, and I hope you feel refreshed as you listen. Welcome to the tribe. Welcome back to Mommispace. This is Bri, and today I am here with another Brianna, Miss Brianna Swan. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
Yes, same. I'm really excited, particularly because you're one of the first people that I have connected with on Instagram. And so I'm just really thrilled to have somebody I don't know, like from personal relationships, that I get to talk to. So
I know, it's kind of cool.
I know. Yeah. So before we kind of dive in, would you just share with our audience like a little bit about yourself and your family, where you're located, and a little bit about daily life?
Yeah, so I'm Brianna. I live with my husband, Elliot, and our two awesome kids, Riley, who is 4, and Nora, who's about 16 months now. And we live in Portland. We love it up here. And our daily life is pretty busy. My husband travels for work, so I'm home with the kids a lot. We spend a lot of time running around with our friends, and I'm really lucky and have quite a community up here with other moms, and which has made a huge difference in my self-care.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and I'm also a photographer, so I do that on the weekends. And
is it like wedding photography or kind of a little bit of everything?
Kind of a little bit of everything. It's mostly family photography right now.
That's
and
awesome.
Then I love doing couple shoots and stuff like that also.
That's so sweet. Awesome. Okay, cool. Well, I am excited to talk to you about your journey into motherhood. One of the things that you talked to me a little bit about when we first connected was just your journey and how passionate you are to kind of connect with new moms and letting them know that they're kind of not alone in the hard stuff. So I would love it if you could just kind of dive into what that looked like for you. Have you always wanted to be a mom? Was it like, I don't know, just go for it.
Okay, cool. So I have always wanted to be a mom, but it was kind of on the back burner. I found out I was pregnant after only being married 2 months. It was a huge surprise. I was in flight attendant training school.
Oh my gosh.
And my husband worked for a startup company that he started with a few people. Wow. So life was really kind of uncertain at the time, and we were not planning on having a baby.
Yeah.
So that was kind of a huge, frame of mind shift for us. I got a job closer to home, and we kind of settled into a new house and kind of just did our best to tie up our very quick newlywed life before welcoming a little baby into the world. Wow. And then my pregnancy kind of ended really difficulty. I was diagnosed with a condition called cholestasis, which necessitates early delivery. So we induced right at 37 weeks, which was kind of crazy. We were not really expecting it to happen so soon. They told us on a Friday that we were going to induce on Monday.
Oh my gosh.
So that was crazy. It was this whirlwind, and the induction took 2 days. He was in the NICU with breathing issues.
Wow.
It was just kind of a really traumatic start to motherhood.
No kidding.
And I think that's a big part of the reason that I kind of developed a pretty severe postpartum depression. He was a very, very difficult baby.
Oh, man.
He had colic. He rarely slept. He constantly cried.
Oh, my gosh.
And I was just so jealous of people who seemed to have these happy babies who slept and were content. And I honestly just felt like I must be like a terrible mom. I was
Oh man.
unprepared for this. And it was a really, really hard time.
Mm.
And I feel like people, they know postpartum depression and anxiety is out there, but you kind of always, people always just say it's hard, it's hard.
Mm.
You just have to get through it, and it's going to be hard.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't really know
Mm.
any different. Um, so I just kind of stuck to it and kind of
Wow.
got through with friends, um, and it's only looking back that I really feel like I know that I had this kind of cloud over me at the time.
Wow.
Kind of crazy. And
Yeah.
then we got pregnant again unexpectedly on birth control,
Oh my
and
gosh.
when my son was 9 months old,
Wow.
and we lost the baby.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Thank you. It was a really rough time. I only share like this
Yeah.
because I'm in such a better space now, and I want people
Yeah.
to know like that there is like you can go through this big storm and it
Mm.
still like trust in God,
Yeah.
um and still kind of come out the other side
Yeah.
and realize that you are a good mom and you are like it
Yeah.
was nothing you did. So anyway,
Yeah.
sorry,
That's no,
little
that's so
sidebar,
good.
but
I really appreciate that. Yeah.
so we
Yeah.
ended up having 3 miscarriages, and
Wow.
um, finally got some help through a fertility doctor and a lot of testing. And then we got our little rainbow baby, Nora, who
Oh.
is the happiest, sweetest, like most
Oh.
easy baby in the whole world. And she is
Wow.
just completely like changed our lives. I mean,
Wow.
she was really the rainbow after the storm. So
Oh, that is such a sweet, beautiful analogy for that.
yeah, I love that like rainbow baby term. It's just like everything about her
Mm.
is like just a rainbow. So
Wow.
so yeah, my intro to motherhood was pretty traumatic. And I feel like if that happens, I don't want people to think that they're like the odd one out and
Yeah.
they're the one who didn't do it right or something.
Yeah.
Things really happen, and it
Totally.
doesn't like mean they're a bad mom.
Yeah, for sure. I am just struck with like how unique everyone's situation is,
I know.
and how like dangerous it can be to start comparing, which, you know, we talk
Hmm.
about this on the show all the time, but it just continues to amaze me like every day. Especially as my little girl keeps growing up.
Uh-huh.
You know, cuz you're like, wait, why isn't my kid doing this? Or, you know,
Right.
just little things like that. And it's just so unique to each person. And if you
Yeah.
think about it, like, yeah, I could go on a whole rant. I'm going to
I know.
slow
No,
myself down.
I'm so with you. It's so interesting.
It is so interesting. Oh, wow. Well, I am interested to kind of hear like your process through your postpartum. What did
Hmm.
that look like? Even you don't have to go into detail here. I
Sure.
know that's like pretty deep stuff. But even just like through your miscarriages, like I've talked to a couple people who have experienced
Uh-huh.
miscarriages, but like, what was that like? If you would be willing to share about that, because I know
Sure.
that there are other moms who have gone through that and or maybe going through that and maybe need some encouragement or
Hmm.
insight into that space.
Yeah, it was pretty rough. I was definitely like struggling a lot with depression and just anxiety in general. And then the miscarriages kind of just added onto that.
Sure.
I rely pretty heavily on my faith in my life,
Mm-hmm.
and it really shook me.
Wow.
It really like I never questioned God,
Yeah.
but I sure like questioned why he would let that happen to me. Like
Yeah.
why was my family not important enough to survive,
Mm.
you know? Like you ask these hard
Yeah.
questions.
Yeah. Totally.
So it really helped me. I started to see a counselor. And it really helped me to kind of, I'm an external processor. It really
Mm.
helped me to kind of talk through these things and just like, because sometimes if you just give it, like,
Mm-hmm.
take away its power by saying it out loud,
Yeah.
like, you
Totally.
just like hear that, no, that's ridiculous.
Yeah. For sure.
Like, I can think all I want, like, oh, God hates me. And then
Yeah.
I say it out loud and I'm like, God hates me. And I'm like, well, no, he doesn't. Like, I
Yeah.
know he doesn't. Like, God
Yeah.
is love. And like,
That's good.
So it's not like a spiteful punishment,
Right.
these like miscarriages in my life.
Yeah.
But anyway, so seeing a counselor really helped me, as well as like just time. I mean, sometimes things just take time and they don't feel so urgent when it's been a while. And my husband's, of course, extremely supportive, and that is the biggest thing, you know.
Yeah. Well, I'd like to talk about our passions in life as mothers, like that being included in motherhood. But would you mind just going into some detail about like what brings you joy in life?
Sure.
And how being a mom fuels those things?
Yeah. Well, I mean, from my experience, I've gotten really passionate about new moms and their experiences. So I try to get in contact with new moms and like help out in any way I can, whether it's just like a meal or like, can I hold your baby while you take a nap or a shower? Like, it's just something that has really become a big passion of mine. But then outside of that, like photography has given me a lot of myself back in the last year or so, really like giving me a creative outlet and kind of something outside of just my family life, which is my biggest passion. But sometimes you just need like something that's for you.
Yeah, totally.
And I mean, being a mom totally fuels my passions, for obvious reasons. But I love taking photos of my kids, and that's what really kind of got me into this new field.
That's awesome. And you do have such beautiful children, and
thank you.
Capture them beautifully. I was just
thank you
looking through Instagram and just smiling over
they're pretty sweet
faces. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so how would you say that you stay most inspired in the day-to-day, as far as like being a mom of two and kind of pursuing your photography? What does that look like in managing your time and all of that?
Well, I'm a big list maker, which helps me a lot. Like whether or not it's like actually helpful, it seems to help me. So I like to kind of list out my big priorities for the day or the week, and then I can kind of budget my time accordingly, because time is like the precious commodity now. You want to spend time with your kids, you want to spend time with self-care, you want to spend time with your outlet, whatever that is. It's just kind of hard to figure that out. But for me, like making lists and really budgeting my time well, as well as just like simple things like getting outside, like helps me stay kind of in the moment and inspired by my family and my kids. So yeah.
That's awesome. So the next question kind of, I would assume kind of flows into that, but are there any things that you do to like take care of your heart week to week?
Yeah. I feel like at least I do, and most of the moms I know, we have this tendency to like give until we have nothing left. So I'm trying more and more to take care of my heart because it hasn't really been a priority for a few years, which is terrible. But I'm getting better at it. So now it's like, it looks like every Thursday afternoon, my husband will take the kids for 3 hours and I go see my counselor, and then I do like maybe some editing or just have coffee by myself.
That's so nice.
Just kind of scheduling is important to me. So just kind of scheduling that time at weekly, like just really helps me know, like, I'm taking care of myself.
That's so good. I love that. Okay, so now we can go into the mom guilt. What does that look like for you? Have you experienced it? And do you have certain things that kind of help you combat it when you do encounter it?
I have definitely, I think we've all experienced that mom guilt, whether it's just internal or someone saying things to us. Like, I remember when my son was like 3 months old, he was formula fed. There's a woman at the mall who sat down next to me and breastfed her baby, and she said to her baby, "Oh, I love you, so I would never give you formula."
You're kidding.
No.
Oh, that's awful. Oh,
so that's probably like the most like severe mommy guilt like feeling I'd ever had. But just things like that external processing again, like talking to my friends or my husband about like these situations.
Seriously.
Where even if they're not so blatant, just like those nagging feelings you get, like maybe you're not doing the best you can.
Right.
Just giving them a voice and talking them through always really helps me kind of see the reality behind just my feelings.
That's really good. I love that. So I like to kind of end things with talking about legacy. It's such an important thing to me, and I think it's such an important thing for us as mothers to like be aware of just in this day and age. Like so much is changing, so much is, growing. And so I don't know. I'd like to hear your perspective. Like, what do you think about when you think about like the legacy you want to leave for your kids?
Yeah, legacy is such a like huge thing to me too. I think about like the legacy I feel like my grandparents and great grandparents left, and how that's like kind of shaped me. Just these, lives they led with integrity and honesty and passion, and I like think about how that's changed my life. So I think about legacy with my kids all the time, and
That's so cool.
I really hope that they feel like they have had this love poured into them from every angle, because I feel like that's like the way people feel secure enough to like be confident and be courageous and stand up for themselves and others, is they had this like solid just foundation of love.
Yes, that's so good. Okay, so I like to end with some fun questions.
Yeah.
The first would be, do you have a favorite product for yourself or for your kids that you feel like you couldn't live without at this time?
Yes. Okay. I mean, so many. My current one, as we just finished dinner, is I love our easy peasy like dinner mats.
Oh, nice.
They're so awesome. They're like these silicone like kids dishes that stick to the table, so you can't like show them, throw it across the room. Yeah, that is like my practical favorite product for my kids. For me, I don't know. I love a good like lush like body wash, like
ooh, yes.
something that's like literally just for you, where you just like smells good and you like take your time showering, and it's like just kind of a little luxury.
That's so good. Yeah, cool. And then do you guys have like a favorite holiday family tradition?
Yeah, my favorite tradition is every Christmas morning we have strawberry waffles at my grandma's house. And we've done that for like my whole life, and now we bring the kids, and my sister has a kid now. It's really fun to have all the generations there and celebrate together. Yeah.
Yes, that sounds delicious right now.
Oh, so good. I know.
Might do that for dinner.
Hey, no judgment here.
Yeah, right? Breakfast or dinner. Oh, cool. And then, okay, so is there a piece of advice that you would give to a new mom that you wish you would have had when you were starting out?
Yes. So, man, I mean, everyone says grace, but I just say grace. Like, I'll never forget. I took my son, he was maybe 2 months old. I took him to urgent care because he'd been crying all day, and I was just so frazzled and helpless. And I'll never forget the doctor said to me, he looked at me and he said, "You're doing the best you can. Sometimes it's just their temperament." Wow. And for some reason that just like really struck a chord to me. Like, if you have a particularly difficult baby, you just have to remember it is not you. You are doing the best. You are being there and loving them how you can, and things really will turn around.
Really good words. Yeah, it does feel like nothing's going to change or like the end of the world when you're in that headspace, especially when you have not had enough sleep or not enough food, whatever it is.
It just emphasizes everything.
Totally. Brianna, thank you so much for this.
Thank you.
I'm so thankful that we connected on social media, and I will have all of your links available so that people can find you, get in contact with you, maybe hit you up for photography or some mommy advice.
Totally.
Oh, sweet. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you, Bri.
Thank you so much for tuning into this week's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. It was such a pleasure to have you listen in. If you'd like more information about this guest and other guests, you can check that out on Facebook and Instagram at Mommispace. And you can also email me at mommispace@gmail.com if you want more details or have any questions or would just like to get in touch. I'm always looking for new connections. Also, it would mean so much if you could leave us either a rating or review or both on iTunes. This just gets the word out about the show. It's a way that we can get more connected with more mamas out there. And it really helps me out as I am doing this on my own. And sometimes I just need a little lift up, y'all. It's good to hear from you that way. Thank you so much again for tuning in. I hope you have an amazing week. Remember, you are loved, you are enough, and you are doing your very best. See you next week, Mama.